without an invitation. It settled on the armchair like a borrowed consolation. The dust inside the sunbeam drifted through the room. I watched it without purpose in the middle of the afternoon. I felt the gilded emptiness expand across the sill. Tried to fill the cavity, but the daylight kept it still. A golden kind of lonely pouring through the blind. A golden kind of lonely occupying mine. I sit inside the brightness that has nowhere left to go. A golden kind of lonely, warm and vertigo. A tangerine left halving on the cutting board from noon. The overhead light unnecessary beneath an amber June. Two chairs around the table, one angled out of place. The radio left murmuring to an unattended space. I felt the gilded emptiness expand across the sill. Tried to fill the cavity, but the daylight kept it still. A golden kind of lonely pouring through the blind. A golden kind of lonely occupying mine. I sit inside the brightness that has nowhere left to go. A golden kind of lonely, warm and vertigo. Maybe solitude unravels into something worth the wait. Maybe golden afternoons arrive a little late. But right now the kitchen burns in colors I can't name, and I keep dissolving into warmth without a frame. A golden kind of lonely pouring through the blind. A golden kind of lonely occupying mine. I sit inside the brightness that has nowhere left to go. A golden kind of lonely, warm and vertigo. A golden kind of lonely, a golden kind of lonely. I still sit inside stairwell long after you had gone, a syllable still rounding every corner of the stone. The hallway held the timbre of a frequency I knew. I leaned against the plaster, listening the whole way through. I felt the vibrations settle beneath the architrave, tried to cut the resonance before it found its grave. Soft echoes forever, folding through the wall. Soft echoes forever, answering my call. I lean into the hollow where your cadence used to ring. Soft echoes forever, the only song I bring. A vinyl on the turntable, revolving without sound. The needle in the groove, still tracing what we found. The floorboard at the landing remembered every step. I stood above the imprint of a rhythm that you kept. I felt the vibrations settle beneath the architrave, tried to cup the resonance before it found its grave. Soft echoes forever, folding through the wall. Soft echoes forever, answering my call. I lean into the hollow where your cadence used to ring. Soft echoes forever, the only song I bring. Maybe the ceiling carries every word that climbed too high. Maybe certain frequencies refuse to fully die. But right now the corridor hums a note I can't release, and I keep following an echo into peace. Soft echoes forever, folding through the wall. Soft echoes forever, answering my call. I lean into the hollow where your cadence used to ring. Soft echoes forever, the only song I bring. Soft echoes forever, soft echoes forever. I still hear you here. The curtain parted slightly at the edge of 2:30. A ribbon of pale silver fell across the residue. Your side of the quilt caught the whole of it alone. I watched the lunar brushwork turn the ordinary known. I felt the pallor spreading across the unlit bureau. Tried to follow inward where the silver became narrow. Painted in moon glow, ivory single strand of hair. The compact left half open caught a crescent in its mirror. The wardrobe door ajar on a darkness hardly worn. I reached inside the pale light for a garment not yet torn. I felt the pallor spreading across the unlit bureau. Tried to follow inward where the silver became narrow. Painted in moon glow, ivory and thin. Painted in moon glow, outside looking in. I traced the luminescence across the vacant side. Painted in moon glow, nowhere left to hide. Maybe the moon revisits every room it ever knew. Maybe certain glowing falls for more than just the view. But right now the ceiling wears a wash I cannot place, and I keep absorbing every contour of your face. Painted in moon glow, ivory and thin. Painted in moon glow, outside looking in. I trace the luminescence across the vacant side. Painted in moon glow, nowhere left to hide. Painted in moon glow. Painted in moon glow, I still see you there. Painted in moon glow. The turntable still spinning long after the last track. A hiss between the silence that kept pulling me back. The sleeve propped on the cabinet, its artwork facing in. I lowered myself carefully and let the room begin. I felt the needle hovering above a hidden seam. Tried to find the frequency somewhere between sleep and dream. Dreams on the record player, circling the groove. Dreams on the record player, softer than the truth. I follow every revolution where the melody once lived. Dreams on the record player, everything you give. A liner note half legible beneath the fading print. The cardboard worn to velvet at the corner's edge. between silence and the known. I sat beside the spinning in a room I called my own. I felt the needle hovering above a hidden seam, tried to find the frequency somewhere between sleep and dream. Dreams on the record player, circling the groove. Dreams on the record player, softer than the truth. I follow every revolution where the melody once lived. Dreams on the record player, everything you give. Maybe the groove remembers every hand that set it down. Maybe certain music keeps on turning underground. But right now the cabinet holds a warmth I can't replace, and I keep listening for a voice inside the space. Dreams on the record player, circling the groove. Dreams on the record player, softer than the truth. I follow every revolution where the melody once lived. Dreams on the record player, everything you give. Dreams on the record player, dreams on the record player. I still hear you turning. Dreams on the record player. A button and a matchstick beneath a folded room. The twilight bled through gauze across the bedroom floor. I held the little nothing like it mattered more and more. I felt the dusk arrive between my open palms. Tried to keep the keepsake from surrendering its calm. Blue, our keepsake, resting in my chest. Blue, our keepsake, quieter than the rest. I carry every fragment through the indigo and through. Blue, our keepsake, everything of you. A transit token tarnished from the city we passed through. A margin note in pencil on the back of a review. The envelope still sealed against a question never sent. I sat beneath the gloaming and I knew what it had meant. I felt the dusk arrive between my open palms. Tried to keep the keepsake from surrendering its calm. Blue, our keepsake, resting in my chest. Blue, our keepsake, quieter than what the daylight cannot bear. Maybe certain objects breathe a different kind of air. But right now the bedroom fills with everything that stays, and I keep unfolding into blue and violet haze. Blue, our keepsake, resting in my chest. Blue, our keepsake, quieter than the rest. I carry every fragment through the indigo and through. Blue, our keepsake, everything of you. Blue, our keepsake. Blue, our keepsake. I still hold you close. Blue, our keepsake. We lay across the hillside with no blanket and no plan. Your index finger tracing every constellation span. The dew came up around us and we barely even stirred. Two people in the darkness saying everything unheard. I felt the firmament descend across the open field. Tried to map the distance between what we both concealed. The stars we carry sewn beneath the skin. The stars we carry burning deeper. By memory of every point you name. The stars we carry, nothing feels the same. A thermos lid left loosened on the crest beside the oak. The torch we never switched on in the gravity we spoke. Your shoulder held the Pleiades, your wrist a wandering arc. I pressed my ear to the universe and listened in the dark. I felt the firmament descend across the open field. Tried to map the distance between what we both concealed. The stars we carried sewn beneath the skin. The stars we carry burning deeper in. I navigate by memory of every point you name. The stars we carry, nothing feels the same. Maybe the hillside holds the impression of that night. Maybe certain darkness keeps its own interior light. But right now the open sky feels wider than before, and I keep searching for the stars we used to store. The stars we carry sewn beneath the skin. The stars we carry burning deeper in. I navigate by memory stars we carry, nothing feels the same. The stars we carry, the stars we carry, I still find them here. The stars we carry.
Where the painting used to hang, a frequency so distant I mistook it for the rain. The kettle on the burner left a ghost ring on the tile. I circled it with one finger and I stayed there for a while. I felt the almost presence settle under every beam. Tried to cross the threshold between waking and the scene. Faintly you remain in the grain of every wall. Faintly you remain at the bottom of the hall. I breathe the in-between where the outline shows. Faintly you remain everywhere the quiet goes. A thumbprint on the tumbler at the angle of the light. An indentation on the mattress from a left and ordinary night. The radiator cooling in a rhythm you once knew. I pressed against the lukewarm and the lukewarm pressed back through. I felt the almost presence settle under every beam. Tried to cross the threshold between waking and the scene. Faintly you remain in the grave. Where the outline barely shows. Faintly you remain everywhere the quiet goes. Maybe the faintest things are the ones that hold the most. Maybe what we overlook becomes the clearest ghost. But right now the plaster wears the warmth of what you were, and I keep dissolving into everything that stirs. Faintly you remain in the grain of every wall. Faintly you remain at the bottom of the hall. I breathe the in-between where the outline barely shows. Faintly you remain everywhere the quiet goes. Faintly you remain. Faintly you remain. I still feel you here. Faintly you remain.
No fanfare in the recollection, no thunder in the ache, just the particular slant of an unremarkable daybreak. The way you stirred your cup without looking at your hand, the way the room arranged itself around wherever you would stand. I felt the ordinary rise into something I can't name. Tried to file it somewhere safe, but it kept returning the same. A quiet heart remembers what the loud world overlooks. A quiet heart remembers every unremarkable nook. I hold the smallest details where the tenderness resides. A quiet heart remembers everything it never hides. The particular creak of the gate at 20 minutes to the hour, the way the kitchen softened when you stood beside the flower, a thumb through a page of nothing at the margin of a year. I pressed my palm to the ordinary and found everything unclear. I felt the ordinary rise into something I can't name. Tried to file it somewhere safe, but it kept returning the same. A quiet heart remembers what the loud world overlooks. A quiet heart remembers every unremarkable nook. I hold the smallest details where the tenderness resides. A quiet heart remembers everything it never hides. Maybe the unremarkable is the only thing that lasts. Maybe grand occasions are the first to leave the past. But right now the kettle hums a note I recognize, and I keep discovering the ordinary in disguise. A quiet heart remembers what the loud world overlooks. A quiet heart remembers every unremarkable nook. I hold the smallest details where the tenderness resides. A quiet heart remembers everything it never hides. A quiet heart remembers. A quiet heart remembers. I still keep it all. A quiet heart remembers. A single stem still standing in the vase beside the gate, the petals barely clinging to an almost August wait. The garden held its exhale through the thinning of the light. I found it in the morning after your last night. I felt the fragrance loosen into something white and raw. Tried to gather every petal before the season's final thaw. Summer left a rose on the way out the door. Summer left a rose, I couldn't ask for more. I pressed the fading crimson to the hollow in my chest. Summer left a rose, and I'll tend to the rest. A trellis worn to silver, where the climbing used to be. A bee without an errand drifting past the empty lea. The watering can tipped over on the gravel by the shed. I knelt beside the stem and heard everything you said. I felt the fragrance loosen into something white and raw. Tried to gather every petal before the season's final thaw. Summer left a rose on the way out the door. Summer left a rose, I couldn't ask for more. I pressed the fading crimson to the hollow in my chest. Summer left a rose, and I'll tend to the rest. Maybe the root persists beneath the hardening clay. Maybe what the season leaves was never meant to stay. But right now the garden wears the color of goodbye, and I keep watering what the summer left behind. Summer left a rose on the way out the door. Summer left a rose, I couldn't ask for more. I pressed the fading crimson to the hollow in my chest. Summer left a rose, and I'll tend to the rest. Summer left a rose, summer left a rose, I still find it here. Summer left a rose.
The linden trees were leaning over both sides of the road. A murmur in the canopy from everything they'd stored.
You spoke beneath the awning of a shop without a sign. The syllables dispersed before they fully could be mine. I leaned into the distance between your mouth and ear, tried to catch the consonants before they disappeared. Whispers along the avenue, carried by the leaves. Whispers along the avenue, threading through the eaves. I walk the same with pavement where your voice once found the air. Whispers along the avenue, still circling everywhere. A cobblestone still glistening from an earlier afternoon. A shop front casting fragments of a half-reflected moon. The newspaper vendor folding at the far end of the road. You turned and said the one thing that I needed most to know. I leaned into the distance between your mouth and ear, tried to catch the consonants before they disappeared. Whispers along the avenue, carried by the leaves. Whispers along the avenue, threading through the eaves. I walk the same with pavement, where your voice once found the air. Whispers along the avenue, still circling everywhere. Maybe the linden canopy keeps a record of the told. Maybe certain whispers never fully lose their hold. But right now the avenue rustles with a voice like yours, and I keep walking slowly past the half-remembered doors. Whispers along the avenue, carried by the leaves. Whispers along the avenue, threading through the eaves. I walk the same with pavement, where your voice once found the air. Whispers along the avenue, still circling everywhere. Whispers along the avenue. Whispers along the avenue. I still hear you there. Whispers along the avenue. The evening came without announcement. Somewhere after 6, the rooftops dissolved upward into violet and mix. You rested on the parapet with both arms open wide, and the whole descending firmament came pouring through your side. I felt the texture of the dusk against my upturned jaw. Tried to hold the deepening before it swallowed us all. Velvet skies and you, indigo and still. Velvet skies and you, bending at the sill. I gather every gradient where the daylight came undone. Velvet skies and you, outshining everyone. A rooftop chair left sideways on the tar and gravel spread. The television murmuring from somewhere overhead. A pigeon found the ledge and tucked its wings away. You pointed at the first star as the last of it gave way. I felt the texture of the dusk against my upturned jaw. Tried to hold the deepening before it swallowed us all. Velvet skies and you, indigo and still. Velvet skies and you, bending at the sill. I gather every gradient where the daylight came undone. Velvet skies and you, outshining everyone. Maybe the rooftop holds the warmth of where we stood. Maybe certain evenings linger longer than they should. But right now the parapet wears a silhouette I miss, and I keep searching upward for a sky as deep as this. Velvet skies and you, indigo and still. Velvet skies and you, bending at the sill. I gather every gradient where the daylight came undone. Velvet skies and you, outshining everyone. Velvet skies and you, velvet skies and you, I still look for you there. Velvet skies and you. You carried it before me down the overgrown descent. The flame inside the paper, leaning with the wind's intent. The path grew indistinct beyond the lantern's reach. I followed every flicker into somewhere past my speech. I felt the wick diminishing against the open veil. Tried to shield the burning with a cupped and trembling veil. The last lantern song hummed into the dark. The last lantern song, guttering and stark. I carry what remained of every note the flame released. The last lantern song, unfinished and unleashed. A wax pool on the flagstone where we finally stood still. The wire handle cooling at the bottom of the hill. The moths convened around us in a liturgy of wings. I turned to find your profile lit by disappearing things. I felt the wick diminishing against the open veil. Tried to shield the burning with a cupped and trembling veil. The last lantern song hummed into the dark. The last lantern song, guttering and stark. I carry what remained of every note the flame released. The last lantern song, unfinished and unleashed. keep humming the last song back to you. The last lantern song hummed into the dark. The last lantern song guttering and stark. I carry what remained of every note the flame released. The last lantern song, unfinished and unleashed. The last lantern song, the last lantern song. I still hum it here. The last lantern song. The afternoon arrived without an invitation. It settled on the armchair like a borrowed consolation. The dust inside the sunbeam drifted through the room. I watched it without purpose in the middle of the afternoon. I felt the gilded emptiness expand across the sill. Tried to fill the cavity, but the daylight kept it still. A golden kind of lonely, pouring through the blind. A golden kind of lonely, occupying mine. I sit inside the brightness that has nowhere left to go. A golden kind of lonely, warm and vertigo. A tangerine left halving on the cutting board from noon. The overhead light unnecessary beneath an amber June. Two chairs around the table, one angled out of place. The radio left murmuring to an unattended space. I felt the gilded emptiness expand across the sill. Tried to fill the cavity, but the daylight kept it still. A golden kind of lonely, pouring through the blind. A golden kind of lonely, occupying mine. I sit inside the brightness that has nowhere left to go. A golden kind of lonely, warm and vertigo. into something worth the wait. Maybe golden afternoons arrive a little late, but right now the kitchen burns in colors I can't name, and I keep dissolving into warmth without a frame. A golden kind of lonely, pouring through the blind. A golden kind of lonely, occupying mine. I sit inside the brightness that has nowhere left to go. A golden kind of lonely, warm and vertigo. A golden kind of lonely, a golden kind of lonely. I still sit inside it, a golden kind of lonely. Your voice inside the stairwell, long after you had gone, a syllable still rounding every corner of the stone. The hallway held the timbre of a frequency I knew. I leaned against the plaster, listening the whole way through. I felt the vibrations settle beneath the architrave, tried to cut the resonance before it found its grave. Soft echoes forever, folding through the wall. Soft echoes forever, answering my call. I lean into the hollow where your cadence used to ring. Soft echoes forever, the only song I bring. A vinyl on the turntable, revolving without sound. The needle in the groove, still tracing what we found. The floorboard at the landing remembered every step. I stood above the imprint of a rhythm that you kept. I felt the vibrations settle beneath the architrave, tried to cut the resonance before it found its grave. Soft echoes forever, folding through the wall. Soft echoes forever, answering my call. I lean into the hollow where your cadence used to ring. Soft echoes forever, the only song I bring. Maybe the ceiling carries every word that climbed too high. Maybe certain frequencies refuse to fully die. But right now the corridor hums a note I can't release, and I keep following an echo into peace. Soft echoes forever, folding through the wall. Soft echoes forever, curtain parted slightly at the edge of 2:30. A ribbon of pale silver fell across the residue. Your side of the quilt caught the whole of it alone. I watched the lunar brushwork turn the ordinary known. I felt the pallor spreading across the unlit bureau. Tried to follow inward where the silver became narrow. Painted in moon glow, ivory and thin. Painted in moon glow, outside looking in. I traced the luminescence across the vacant side. Painted in moon glow, nowhere left to hide. A comb beside the basin held a single strand of hair. The compact left half open caught a crescent in its mirror. The wardrobe door ajar on a darkness hardly worn. I reached inside the pale light for a garment not yet torn. I felt the pallor spreading across the unlit bureau. Tried to follow inward where the silver became narrow. Painted in moon glow, ivory and thin. Painted in moon glow, outside looking in. I traced the luminescence across the vacant side. Painted in moon glow, nowhere left to hide. Maybe the moon revisits every room it ever knew. Maybe certain glowing falls for more than just the view. But right now the ceiling wears a wash I cannot place, and I keep absorbing every contour of your face. Painted in moon glow, ivory and thin. Painted in moon glow, outside looking in. I trace the luminescence across the vacant side. Painted in moon glow, nowhere left to hide. Painted in moon glow. Painted in moon glow, I still see you there. Painted in moon glow. The turntable still spinning long after the last track. A hiss between the silence that kept pulling me back. The sleeve propped on the cabinet, its artwork facing in. I lowered myself carefully and let the room begin. hidden scene. Tried to find the frequency somewhere between sleep and dream. Dreams on the record player, circle in the groove. Dreams on the record player, softer than the truth. I follow every revolution where the melody once lived. Dreams on the record player, everything you give. A liner note, half legible, beneath the fading print. The cardboard worn to velvet, at the corner's edge and dint. The volume knob left midway between silence and the known. I sat beside the spinning in a room I called my own. I felt the needle hovering above a hidden seam. Tried to find the frequency somewhere between sleep and dream. Dreams on the record player, circling the groove. Dreams on the record player, softer than the truth. I follow every revolution where the melody once lived. Dreams on the record player, everything you give. Maybe the groove remembers every hand that set it down. Maybe certain music keeps on turning underground. But right now the cabinet holds a warmth I can't replace, and I keep listening for a voice inside the space. Dreams on the record player, circling the groove. Dreams on the record player, softer than the truth. I follow every revolution where the melody once lived. Dreams on the record player, everything you give. Dreams on the record player, dreams on the record player. I still hear you turning. Dreams on the record player. The door I never opened after the 5th of June. A button and a matchstick beneath a folded room. The twilight bled through gauze across the bedroom floor. I held the little nothing like it mattered more and more. I felt the dusk arrive between my open palms. Tried to keep the keepsake from surrendering its calm. Blue, our keepsake, token tarnished from the city we passed through. A margin note in pencil on the back of a review. The envelope still sealed against a question never sent. I sat beneath the gloaming and I knew what it had meant. I felt the dusk arrive between my open palms. Tried to keep the keepsake from surrendering its calm. Blue, our keepsake, resting in my chest. Blue, our keepsake, quieter than the rest. I carry every fragment through the indigo and through. Blue, our keepsake, everything of you. Maybe the drawer holds what the daylight cannot bear. Maybe certain objects breathe a different kind of air. But right now the bedroom fills with everything that stays, and I keep unfolding into blue and violet haze. Blue, our keepsake, resting in my chest. Blue, our keepsake, quieter than the rest. I carry every fragment through the indigo and through. Blue, our keepsake, everything of you. Blue, our keepsake. Blue, our keepsake. I still hold you close. Blue, our keepsake. We lay across the hillside with no blanket and no plan. Your index finger tracing every constellation span. The dew came up around us and we barely even stirred. Two people in the darkness saying everything unheard. I felt the firmament descend across the open field. Tried to map the distance between what we both concealed. The stars we carry sewn beneath the skin. The stars we carry burning deeper. By memory of every point you name. The stars we carry, nothing feels the same. A thermos lid left loosened on the crest beside the oak. The torch we never switched on in the gravity we spoke. Your shoulder held the Pleiades, your wrist a wandering arc. I pressed my ear to the universe and listened in the dark. I felt the firmament descend across the open field. Tried to map the distance between what we both concealed. The stars we carried sewn beneath the stars we carry, nothing feels the same. Maybe the hillside holds the impression of that night. Maybe certain darkness keeps its own interior light. But right now the open sky feels wider than before, and I keep searching for the stars we used to store. The stars we carry, sewn beneath the skin. The stars we carry, burning deeper in. I navigate by memory of every point you name. The stars we carry, nothing feels the same. The stars we carry, the stars we carry, I still find them here. The stars we carry.
Watermark on plaster where the painting used to hang. A frequency so distant I mistook it for the rain. The kettle on the burner left a ghost ring on the tile. I circled it with one finger and I stayed there for a while. I felt the almost presence settle under every beam. Tried to cross the threshold between waking and the scene. Faintly you remain in the grain of every wall. Faintly you remain at the bottom of the hall. I breathe the in-between where the outline barely shows. Faintly you remain everywhere the quiet goes. A thumbprint on the tumbler at the angle of the light. An indentation on the mattress from a left and ordinary night. The radiator cooling in a rhythm you once knew. I pressed against the lukewarm and the lukewarm pressed back through. I felt the almost presence settle under every beam. Tried to cross the threshold between waking and the scene. Faintly you remain in the grain of every wall. Faintly you remain at the bottom of the hall. I breathe the in-between where the outline barely shows. Faintly you remain everywhere the quiet goes. Maybe the faintest things are the ones that hold the most. Maybe what we overlook becomes the clearest ghost. But right now the plaster wears the warmth of what you were, and I keep dissolving into everything that stirs. Faintly you remain in the grain of every wall. Faintly you remain at the bottom of the hall.
Everywhere the quiet goes, faintly you remain. Faintly you remain. I still feel you here. Faintly you remain. No fanfare in the recollection, no thunder in the ache, just the particular slant of an unremarkable daybreak. The way you stirred your cup without looking at your hand, the way the room arranged itself around wherever you would stand. I felt the ordinary rise into something I can't name. Tried to file it somewhere safe, but it kept returning the same. A quiet heart remembers what the loud world overlooks. A quiet heart remembers every unremarkable nook. I hold the smallest details where the tenderness resides. A quiet heart remembers everything it never hides. The particular creak of the gate at 20 minutes to the hour, the way the kitchen softened when you stood beside the flower, a thumb through a page of nothing at the margin of a year. I pressed my palm to the ordinary and found everything unclear. I felt the ordinary rise into something I can't name. Tried to file it somewhere safe, but it kept returning the same. A quiet heart remembers what the loud world overlooks. A quiet heart remembers every unremarkable nook. I hold the smallest details where the tenderness resides. A quiet heart remembers everything it never hides. Maybe the unremarkable is the only thing that lasts. Maybe grand occasions are the first to leave the past. But right now the kettle hums a note I recognize, and I keep discovering the ordinary in disguise. A quiet heart remembers what the loud world overlooks. A quiet heart remembers every unremarkable nook. I hold the smallest details where the tenderness resides. A quiet heart remembers everything it never hides. A quiet heart remembers. A quiet heart remembers. single stem still standing in the vase beside the gate, the petals barely clinging to an almost August wait. The garden held its exhale through the thinning of the light. I found it in the morning after your last night. I felt the fragrance loosen into something white and raw. Tried to gather every petal before the season's final thaw. Summer left a rose on the way out the door. Summer left a rose, I couldn't ask for more. I pressed the fading crimson to the hollow in my chest. Summer left a rose, and I'll tend to the rest. A trellis worn to silver where the climbing used to be. A bee without an errand drifting past the empty lea. The watering can tipped over on the gravel by the shed. I knelt beside the stem and heard everything you said. I felt the fragrance loosen into something white and raw. Tried to gather every petal before the season's final thaw. Summer left a rose on the way out the door. Summer left a rose, I couldn't ask for more. I pressed the fading crimson to the hollow in my chest. Summer left a rose, and I'll tend to the rest. Maybe the root persists beneath the hardening clay. Maybe what the season leaves was never meant to stay. But right now the garden wears the color of goodbye, and I keep watering what the summer left behind. Summer left a rose on the way out the door. Summer left a rose, I couldn't ask for more. I pressed the fading crimson to the hollow in my chest. Summer left a rose, and I'll tend to the rest. Summer left a rose, summer left a rose, I still find it here. Summer left a rose.
The linden trees were leaning over both sides of the road. A murmur in the canopy from everything they'd stored.
You spoke beneath the awning of a shop without a sign. The syllables dispersed before they fully could be mine. I leaned into the distance between your mouth and ear, tried to catch the consonants before they disappeared. Whisper
Whispers along the avenue, carried by the leaves. Whispers along the avenue, threading through the eaves. I walk the same with pavement, where your voice once found the air. Whispers along the avenue, still circling everywhere.
A cobblestone still glistening from an earlier afternoon. A shop front casting fragments of a half-reflected moon.
The newspaper vendor folding at the far end of the road. You turned and said the one thing that I needed most to know. I leaned into the distance between your mouth and ear, tried to catch the consonants before they disappeared. Whispers along the avenue, carried by the leaves. Whispers along the avenue, threading through the eaves. I walk the same with pavement, where your voice once found the air. Whispers along the avenue, still circling everywhere. Maybe the linden canopy keeps a record of the told. Maybe certain whispers never fully lose their hold. But right now the avenue rustles with a voice like yours, and I keep walking slowly past the half-remembered doors. Whispers along the avenue, carried by the leaves. Whispers along the avenue, threading through the eaves. I walk the same with pavement, where your voice once found the air. Whispers along the avenue, still circling everywhere. Whispers along the avenue. Whispers along the avenue. I still hear you there. Whispers along the avenue.
The evening came without announcement. Somewhere after 6, the rooftops dissolved upward into violet and mix. You rested on the parapet with both arms open wide, and the whole descending firmament came pouring through your side. I felt the texture of the dusk against my upturned jaw. Tried to hold the deepening before it swallowed us all. Velvet skies and you, indigo and still. Velvet skies and you, bending at the sill. I gather every gradient where the daylight came undone. Velvet skies and you, outshining everyone. A rooftop chair left sideways on the top tar and gravel spread, the television murmuring from somewhere overhead. A pigeon found the ledge and tucked its wings away. He pointed at the first star as the last of it gave way. I felt the texture of the dusk against my upturned jaw. Tried to hold the deepening before it swallowed us all. Velvet skies and you, indigo and still. Velvet skies and you, bending at the sill. I gather every gradient where the daylight came undone. Velvet skies and you, outshining everyone. Maybe the rooftop holds the warmth of where we stood. Maybe certain evenings linger longer than they should. But right now the parapet wears a silhouette I miss, and I keep searching upward for a sky as deep as this. Velvet skies and you, indigo and still. Velvet skies and you, bending at the sill. I gather every gradient where the daylight came undone. Velvet skies and you, outshining everyone. Velvet skies and you, velvet skies and you, I still look for you there. Velvet skies and you. You carried it before me down the overgrown descent. The flame inside the paper, leaning with the wind's intent. The path grew indistinct beyond the lantern's reach. I followed every flicker into somewhere past my speech. I felt the wick diminishing against the open veil. Tried to shield the burning with a cupped and trembling veil. The last lantern song hummed into the dark. The last lantern song, guttering and stark. I carry what remained of every note the flame released. The last lantern song, unfinished and unleashed. A wax pool on the flagstone where we finally stood still. The wire handle cooling at the bottom of the hill. The moths convened around us in a liturgy of wings. I turned to find your profile lit by disappearing things. I felt the wick diminishing against the open veil. Tried to shield the burning with a cupped and trembling veil. The last lantern song hummed into the dark. The last lantern song, gutter
keep humming the last song back to you. The last lantern song hummed into the dark. The last lantern song guttering and stark. I carry what remained of every note the flame released. The last lantern song, unfinished and unleashed. The last lantern song, the last lantern song. I still hum it here. The last lantern song.